We have it in echo mode. No, just joking. We have it in not echo mode. We have it in dual mode. That's what the D means, dual, and it's in gear 3. So we're where we're supposed to be. So this is a scooter. I just got it a couple days ago. It's phenomenal. I love it. Super fast, but not as fast as they advertise, and quite frankly, not as fast as I want it to be. But I like it. It's fun. It handles good. I did put a steering damper on it that the company suggested I put on it, and it's too short. It runs out of real estate. Basically, it either won't turn far enough right or it won't turn far enough left. With that said, it'll still drive straight down the middle of the road. But what happens when you need to turn sharp to the right or sharp to the left to avoid something or whatever? You should just be able to do that. I know other people have steering dampers on their hyper scooters, and they they have a full steering range of motion. Like they don't lose any steering radius at all. So that's what I want for this scooter. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it or not. Like I said, the company that this guy's that I bought the scooter from, the seller, tells me that sends me a link for a certain steering damper, and the steering damper just isn't cutting it. It's not on wrong. It's on correct. It's 100% correct. The problem is it's not big enough. It needs to be longer because when I either turn to the right or to the left, it runs out of real estate, meaning it doesn't turn sharp enough. You definitely lose steering radius. I don't know exactly how far the radius I lose, but I'm going to make another video to show you that so you guys see what I'm talking about. And maybe I am doing something wrong. I highly doubt it. I'm not a gearhead, but I definitely know what I'm doing, I think, and it's not rocket scientist to figure out how to put a steering damper on. It's very easy. So with that said, I think we need a better steering damper for this thing. But I'm not even sure it needs it because with me it only goes 42 miles an hour, and that's like as long a stretch road. I live in the beach area. It's super flat. The roads are perfect. There's no potholes. There's no humidity. There's no elevation. We're at sea level. No humidity. Nothing. It's perfect here where I live. I live in San Diego, so it's like 75, sunny year round. So it might go a couple degrees up or a couple degrees down, but not. It doesn't vary from that very much. So, and with that said, let's see what else I got to say about this thing. I like it. It came boxed well. It was easy to put together. 90% put together. All I had to do is pop the steering or the steering column up. Snaps into place. Then you bolt this screen on. Everybody keeps calling it a computer, but it's not. It's a screen. It tells your odometer, it tells your miles per hour, it tells you what gear you're in, how many miles you have on this trip, what the total mileage is. It's pretty good. And what I like about it is you can pretty much see it during this daylight too. I don't know what the nit rate is on this thing, but it's pretty good. Definitely. I did have a problem with this voltage regulator right here, or not even a regulator, just a voltage meter. What happened was when I first got it, it ran great. And when I say I just got it, let's look at the mileage on it so far. I mean, I just got it. So we're at 42 miles is what I put on it so far. 42. That's not much. So it's got 42 miles on it. So when I first got it, it ran good first 10 minutes, and then it started turning off intermittently. Like I would lose power. I'd be going across the road, and all of a sudden it would go to zeros. Like the voltage meter would drop to zero slowly, and it would go, and that would just go down to nothing, and then you'd have to get off and push it. So I'm like, what the heck's going on? So I talked to the guys and by the way, the sellers are great. They respond immediately. I mean, when I say immediately, I mean immediately. They're great. I have no issues with them. So far, they've been great. They've been beyond great, actually, because they've figured out remedies for this, and they've gone out of their way to see to it that I was compensated. They actually sent credited $50 back to my credit card, which I didn't ask for. Not only did I not ask for it, I didn't even think it was needed, but they sent it anyway because the thing didn't run tip-top as soon as I took it out of the box. Sure, that's what people expect, but really, in reality, can you expect something like this from China to run tip-top out of the box as soon as you turn on the key? For $1,250, I'm not sure you can. So I didn't have these high expectations that a lot of people have. I just had normal expectations, and I figured if the thing had a problem, we would fix it. We'd get to the issues, and the seller would do his part, and I would do my part, and all would be well. And that's exactly what happened, except for they did it immediately. So they credited back to my account $50 to my credit card, and then they sent me a new voltage meter because after they told me I should check all the wires, I took this plate off right here and I checked all the wires underneath. I unplugged every single wire, reconnected. I made sure that they were lined up right, that they were fully connected, that the tips weren't bent or crossed or missing, and everything was good. Everything was great. And so after unplugging and plugging everything back in, everything under the deck and everything in this 3-on-1 wire right here, that's North Island Naval Air Station right there. This is Coronado for you, baby. That's right. I live in Paradise. So anyway, here in Paradise, the scooter had a problem with the voltage meter. It kept, like, I get halfway across the street or down the block or a quarter mile away or whatever distance. They go, do, all the way to 0, and then quit running. And I turn on and off, and then I noticed if I jostled around, you know, bumped up, jumping down on it or whatever I needed to do, it would come back on eventually. If I, you know, I'd hit the brakes and roll it forward and pop the front end up and back and do endos on it. And sooner or later, I could jostle it back into getting power. So I figured it's just a loose wire somewhere. So after checking all the wires, it wasn't a wire. When we're done checking all the wires, he says, listen, I'm going to send you a new voltage, a key ignition thing where your key goes. Because I noticed that I had a lot of keys on here, and that was kind of heavy on there, so maybe that was screwing up. So I took all the keys off, and it helped a little bit, but not really. Eventually, it would go back to 0. So I'll tell you what happened, guys. So this is what happened. So as I'm waiting for this new one to come, where I'm just going to plug and play, no problem. They sent a new one and gave me back $50. I didn't even ask for that. They just did it. Great guys. So while I'm in the process of waiting for this, by the way, it still hasn't come. It said 5 to 7 business days. It should be here any day now. I was sitting there talking to my friend, and I have it on just like I do now. And I was screwing around, and I accidentally hit this. And this thing took off like a rocket. One thing about these scooters that some other scooters have is this scooter does not have park mode. Park mode means when you hit the throttle by accident, it doesn't go anywhere because you're in park mode. It knows you're stationary, so it doesn't take off. This doesn't have that. And so I accidentally hit that, and the thing took off like a rocket across the street. No, it only went about 5 or 6 feet, and then went bam down in the pavement. And it hit pretty hard, right? And so, of course, I was like, F word. Wow, I just effed up my scooter. Nah, man, this is terrible news. So I look at it, and everything is okay. I say, thank God. Take back the F word. And then, so I'm like checking out the other looks of my neighbors right here. They like the scooter. You like the scooter?
Yeah.
All right, cool. It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Let me a picture.
Yeah, absolutely. He wants to take a picture of my scooter. I'll take a picture of him. This is for YouTube. What's your son's name? Huh? Leonardo. Mucho gusto, Leonardo. Pinchas. Not Pinchy Pinchas, just Pinchas. Pinchas. Yeah. Yeah. This is my neighbor. Bye. Bye. Igualmente. So this is my scooter. Back to the scooter story. That was nice of them, right? Super cool, friendly kid. Very kind. Asked to take a picture with the scooter. I'm like a rock star around here. I'm very popular. The scooter is very popular. Me, they don't know. So anyway, the thing takes off across, slams into the pavement. I see the F word. I go, oh no, my effing scooter. So I stand it up, and I'm looking. I check it again, and I turn the key on. And guess what? Bam! It stays on. I'm like, son of the gun, what happened to this thing? It's no longer going off and on every 2 seconds. I cruised like 5, 6, 7 miles, got off and on, turned it off and on a bunch of times, went to the liquor store, got an ice cream, no alcohol. You don't ride this thing with alcohol. But I went and got this ice cream, and I came back out, turned it on, back off, on and off, rode it around, went up and down the alley a couple times, and guess what? The thing doesn't have a problem anymore. So I guarantee there's a wire in here somewhere. So if you have one of these and you're having an issue with it, it's probably this thing right here. And I think mine slammed to the ground hard enough, maybe it reconnected the wire. But nonetheless, I have a new one coming. So if this starts giving me a problem again, I'll switch them out. But I don't think most of you have a problem. So if you do, though, that's what it is. So the thing's running tits, right? Shocks are good. Everything is good. It's a little soft. If you ask me, the front end suspension is a little soft, which is where the speed wobbles come from. So I get this garbage damper. I don't want to call it garbage. I take it back because some people might love it. But I put the damper. The damper's on correctly. I'll put it an image with this post about the damper, what it looked like when I had it on, and you'll see that it was on correctly. Oh, let me show you this right here. This is for pulling people over. Right there. There we go. Look at that. Pull over. I'm on my scooter. Get out of the way. Nah, don't do that at home, boys and girls. You get in trouble for impersonating a police officer. God forbid anybody thought you were a cop. At least in this town, they got cop is like a four-letter word. I don't know why, because most cops, in my mind, are pretty good, unless they try to pull you over for speeding on your scooter or bust you for smoking pot. Then I don't like them so much. And guess what I do out of those two things? Speeding on a scooter or smoking pot, or smoking pot. I don't know. You tell me. All right, so back to I put this extra light on it because guess what? This light is not as bright as people say it is. It really sucks, actually. I see a lot of scooter reviews where people have a much better light on their scooter than we do. But it's not terrible, but it's not good. It's definitely not good. I don't know about you, but I wear glasses. And I wear glasses for a reason. That's because I don't see dick at night or during the day. And because I don't see dick at night or during the day, I like to be able to have bright headlights. So I actually went out and bought another light on Amazon, and it works pretty good. Look how bright it is. Damn, it's bright. And it's got strobe on it if I want to pretend like I'm on Popo again. Pulling people over SOS in case it's an emergency. And I'm like I'm stuck on an island, and people need to know that I'm on the island with my scooter stuck in the sand, and they should come get me with the Coast Guard and helicopters. But let's turn on the bright light. Okay, so that's the light in the front end. You see that? That's not very good, is it? I mean, I know it's broad daylight out here. It's just 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And so I don't expect it. So this goes on there too. This didn't come with it right here. I put that on there. But normally you have this strip right here, lights up. To me, it's annoying. It's kind of gay. And those of you that are gay, I don't mean that as a slur. I just mean it's kind of like, it's, I don't know, it's a little feminine to me, in my mind. The ones down here are all right, you know, okay, cool, fine, whatever. But the ones on the string column are a little, I wouldn't mind if they went out, to be honest with you. If they quit working tomorrow, I wouldn't cry about it. I definitely wouldn't call and complain to the company, to Leon from EFG Tech, EFGtech.com is the seller that I got this from. They're a great group of guys. And Leon, I would not complain to if that thing stopped working. So Leon, if it stops working, you watch this, don't worry, I'm not going to call you. It's a little G-A-Y in my book. A little gay for me. A little too loud, a little too feminine. Not that we have a problem with our gay brothers and sisters. I don't know about gay sisters. Well, yeah, I guess the sisters can be gay. All right, enough said. I really don't want to offend anybody, in all honesty. I really don't. That's not my deal. I don't have any hatred for anybody. But that doesn't mean I love you either. Just kidding. All right, so the scooter is cool, man. I like it. What do you guys think? It's cool. It's not too bad for a free scooter. But I'll tell you what, the next scooter I get, I'm going to be damn sure it goes over 60 miles an hour. And I don't know which one it's going to be yet, because I'm going to try to sell this one lickety-split so I can get my money while it's still worth it. And then buy another scooter because I want one that goes 60, 70 miles an hour. They have them out there. Yeah, I know I haven't got this one over 42 yet because of my fat ass. I'm 230 pounds or 220, but as much gear as I carry on me, I carry cameras and drones and all that good stuff. By the way, I'm going to go make a couple drone videos. I got the Hoover X1, the Hover X1 Hoover. What am I, vacuuming? No, I got the Hover X1. It's pretty cool, but it only goes like 11 or 12 minutes. It's not as good as the Neo, the DJI Neo. I'm going to definitely get the Neo, but Neo's not available yet, unless you're one of those great guys on YouTube that gets them early to put out the reviews. I'm not one of them guys. This is like my first review, really. So I'm doing baby steps. Work up to DJI. Anyway, I got the Hover the Hoover, no, the Hover, no, not the freaking Hoover, the Hover. I got the Hover X1, and the thing does cool, man. But I also have DJI. I got the DJI Mini 4 Pro. I got the Mini 3 Pro. I got also the DJI. What is this? The big one. I have the DJI Air 2S. I have the Air 2S, and I also have the Maverick 3. Not the Enterprise or any of those good ones. Mine Maverick's got it's the Maverick 3 Pro. It's got actually, what is the Maverick 3 Pro? No, it's the Maverick 3. It's got two badass cameras on it. One's a super far lens, like it's a telelens. Thing is super dope. It was like, I don't know, well over $2,000. And quite frankly, I don't fly as much as I fly the Mini 3 Pro or the Mini 4. So listen what I'm going to do. I'm going to put up the Mini 4 Pro up high in the sky and the Mini 3. And the Mini 3 is going to do like the bird's eye view. And the Mini 4 Pro will be like doing what's it called? Orbiting, but locked on to do locked on to follow me. Either follow me or I'll do what's the other one? The middle choice is Spotlight. Yeah, Spotlight. I'll have it in Spotlight mode, so it sees the other drone follow me around or whatever. It should be good. Or maybe I'll put one in follow me. I haven't decided yet. Whatever we do, we can't get busted by the police or the Coast Guard because this is a no-fly zone for drones, believe it or not. This is all controlled airspace because of the North Island Navy Air Base, but for whatever reason, I'm able to get the DJI 4 up and the 3 up. I'm able to get most DJI drones up here and there on the island. Most of the time, you have to go to the Coronado Caves, but in my case, I can put it up by the bridge or a little closer to the bridge, and so that's what we'll do. We'll put it up there. It's got some limits, though. Definitely, you have to be on your toes, and so we'll try not to get in trouble with that, and we'll go make another video now. But so this is my original video that I wanted to put out regarding the Z-Snake scooter, the 5,600 watt dual motor, 2,800 watts, I think, to each motor, and with a 27 amp hour battery. So far, so good. I haven't come near nowhere using up all the juice in this thing. I keep recharging it. I didn't recharge it this afternoon, but I only used it for a half hour, rode like 4 or 5 miles, and that was it. So it's still on full charge, but I'm only at 62.4 volts, which tells me it's a little low because it runs at around 67 volts fully charged. So we're going to go take it for a ride. I got some other cameras up here. I got the Osmo Pocket 2. This thing is cool because it's got a gimbal on it, so the camera doesn't shake when you're going down the road. I also have an OXO action camera. I didn't bring that with me because, quite frankly, it sucks. And you need something with a gimbal or a great stabilization if you're going to be doing scooter videos with it. So anyway, this we'll see how things go. I'll post this stuff later and see what you guys think. I hope you enjoyed this review. And oh, by the way, the brakes work great on this thing. Everything is great. The light sucks. It doesn't suck. It's just not terrible. It's not terrible, but it's not great. It's like mediocre. It's like mediocre. I guess what can you expect for $1,250, right? So overall, I'd say on a 0 to 10 scale, I'm like a 9.5. I'm happy with this thing. The other half would be that the thing didn't turn off the first couple of days I had it, meaning that it wouldn't go off and on. Something's wrong with the voltage or the ignition. And 2, that would go above 42 miles an hour like they say it will. They say it goes 52. I'm 10 miles an hour. I'm 220 pounds. I'm not that fat. Yeah, I mean, damn, this thing should go like 50 miles an hour with me at least, and I can only get it going 42. And no, I'm not in eco mode, and no, I'm not in mode 3 or mode 2 or mode 1. I have it in dual mode, and I'm not stuck in eco mode. I'm not doing any of that stuff. So before you leave comments stating that that's what I'm doing, that's not what I'm doing. So maybe their problem is that this thing isn't getting full power because of this thing. Whatever is going on with this, causing it to turn off and on and lose power, could also be the reason I'm only going 42 miles an hour. I hope that's the case because I would love to get another 5 or 6 miles an hour out of it, at least. And at this speed, I really don't need a steering damper, so I don't have much to say about that because at 42, you really don't need a steering damper unless you're a big wuss. You know what I mean? If you're a big wussy, then you might need a steering damper. Or if you have a lot of potholes and you like to ride one-handed, while eating popcorn. I saw one guy doing that in the video, eating popcorn riding one-handed. I definitely can't do that. So kudos to him for being able to do so. Maybe when I get a steering damper that's long enough and doesn't cause me to lose steering radius, then maybe I'll eat popcorn on mine too. Until then, this is what we got. All right, this is a 20-minute video. 19 minutes too long if you ask me. All the best.